running backs are that involved in the passing game?
I mean, I just think football is it's such a versatile game, and I think I'm always trying to be the most complete back I can be, and a lot of times when you have teams that play so off, a lot of times they forget about the back, so you can have these little chunk plays where you dish it down to a back, could get 4 or 5, 6, 7 yards, and that's those are big plays, those are extended run plays, so I think it's definitely an important part of the game that a lot of time gets forgotten.
Is that how you view them, almost sort of as a rush, or do you kind of just categorize them all as touches?
Yeah, shoot, if we're moving the ball forward, that's exactly how we look at it. I mean, whether it's a handoff or a pass, we really just want to get positive yards.
Christian, how many teams looked at you as just maybe a slot receiver during the draft process?
I'm not sure. I don't know how many teams. Nobody ever told me that I was going to be a slot receiver. I think every team that I talked to told me I'm a running back.
Rod said, though, in your workout with them, they wanted to work you out, not as a receiver, but see your pass-catching skills. Do you remember that specifically?
For sure. I mean, that's, I had more touches between the tackles than anybody in college, so I think, a lot of it was going to see how I run routes and do certain things, and so, once again, I'm all for it. Wherever I can get the ball in my hands and be most versatile, I'll do it.
What about tying a record that Steve Smith, you and he now share in terms of just sheer number of receptions to be in the same breath as Steve Smith?
That's an honor for me. I was one of my favorite players, so that's definitely a huge honor.
Did you hear from him?
No, I didn't hear from him.
DJ finally got his first reception yesterday, got some actual play. Ron mentioned that we could probably do more to put more on his plate. What have you seen from him so far in practices to suggest that he is ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, he's an obvious playmaker. When he gets the ball in his hands, I think, he's definitely young and growing, and I think that's the beauty of it, is he is so just naturally special. And so, once he really figures it out, it's going to be extremely hard to cover him.
I'm curious, what would you prefer, running between the tackles, or you like catching passes better?
Whatever's working, that's what I prefer. Whatever's making us go.
Are there still parts of your route running or pass catching that you're growing into, and what would those be specifically?
I mean, I wouldn't think there's specific ones I'd say now. I think, I'm always trying to work on every little detail there is. I think the biggest thing is recognizing coverages and recognizing how teams are playing certain routes, and that's when you can really play fast. So I'm continuing to grow in that area, but always trying to get better.
When you're motioned out, does that help kind of give you and Cam a tell on what they're doing coverage-wise?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's film study beforehand. If we can motion out and come back in and know what a certain team does, it can help us out a little bit. But most of it's film study and prep before the game, but also adjustments once you get in the game to see how teams are playing.
What's the decision behind the Pete Carroll specials?
Oh man, I've had these for a while, and I like to think that I kind of started Pete Carroll started it, but I got him as a joke at first, 'cause I was making fun of Captain Munnerlyn, and then I put them on, and I haven't turned back, so they're too comfy.